Good day, good day. Good day, everybody. We have core CPI today. So very important day here today. Very important day. So all over social media and the way price is moving, it looks like price wants to go up. Everybody is expecting that gold is going to go up here today. But the forecast says that we should be getting actually a stronger dollar. So gold technically should move down, but yeah, I mean, it's moving up right here. It's on its way up and still in kind of like a distribution from this area down here. So I would say maybe the safest bet would just be to go with the trend. Right? Go with the trend, go with the bullish trend. That's currently at the moment. I'm not going to be trading it, of course, but we're going to be expecting some kind of a volume here. We are definitely going to be expecting something to pop off. Get this. Yeah, so grab your popcorns, grab your drinks, and enjoy the fireworks. That would be the best thing to do. Enjoy the fireworks. Enjoy the fireworks. Enjoy the fireworks. Let's see if we still got the tool over here. Oh, nice. Yeah, we still got the magic tool. All right, so TradingView's got to load up. Ooh, TradingView. We gonna have some. We're gonna need a competitor soon to replace TradingView because of late, man, the software has been so laggy. Takes forever to open. Takes forever to have actions. Like right now, it's oh, there we go. Finally. Holy TradingView, like in an industry where speed is crucial, got me wasting minutes here trying to put some animations. But let's see. Daily time frame, we got like 4400 still. See, so now we've broken above 4400 psychological at this point. And with the core CPI today, I think we can have enough steam to get through this kind of like a speed bump area on the left-hand side. All right, on the left-hand side, we're gonna need some serious volume to get through those zones. So I think that's what we're gonna be able to have here today with the news, and that's gonna be coming here. As you can see, we're gonna be having news here at 8:30 a.m. So yeah, pretty much in the next hour. In the next hour, we're gonna be having news coming out there soon. So if we're gonna take a look at the kill zones, we can see since Asia we had this push up, created a higher high. Over here we have another higher high. So price right now is kind of moving like a bit more like this, like what we're speaking about yesterday when identifying trends. So on the LTF, on the intraday, we're kind of moving a little bit more like this, correct? So I would say like the best case scenario would be to be able to take some kind of a buy. Overall CVD is also bullish at the moment. So yeah, I think a nice buy will be great, because also the buys have been really giving some nice pips, some nice movement, correct? The buys have been giving some really nice movement of late. All right, chat, let's get it. Let's get it. Hopefully you can get stuck in a position before news. Let's see, we got some lower lows over here. These are lower highs or higher low. Got higher low right here as well. Another higher low. The kill zone's off. So the trend direction has been confirmed. Right, so here we go. So that's currently the trend right now. Let's go on the 15-minute. Let's start with the daily. Let's finish up with the daily. Okay, so right here we have that resistance we're approaching, which we're expecting to get disrespected as we head up towards like 4600 would be the daily target. Potentially with this amount of volume that we're gonna get today, I think price should be heading towards like 4600. 4600 I would say would be like so my daily target over here. 4600. So right now we are just anticipating that this bullish, let's just say this. or we don't even need to mark it out, but we're going to be anticipating that this bullish trend is going to continue to break above here. Correct? That's pretty much it. Just simple analysis. I think on the 4 hour. 4 hour I see is already accumulating. So wait, let me see where we're accumulating next to. We're accumulating next to like this sort of like a daily resistance area right over here. So that's on the 4 hour that we're accumulating. We have that resistance here. We got that support. So we're coming off of this sort of like expansion on the left hand side right here. This came from so I believe that was last week, right? That was last week Tuesday, since we started on this bull run. Correct? So now we're basically having the same thing that happened here previously. It was like a small little break in a retest situation on the 4 hour, right? We broke above structure, a little bit of a nice little distribution shotgun play on the 4 hour right here. And now we're broken back above. It looks like actually a reversal, potential reversal play, but it needs to break below. It needs to break below 43.54 for some kind of a reversal on the 4 hour. And you got a range here that's like 354 pips. So you can see we're currently accumulating in this like 4 hour, 700-800 pip range, right below that daily resistance. So we can even like name this daily resistance. We got that daily resistance right there. Yeah, CPI is going to be wild. I feel like we might even have some liquidity grabs or something like that. So, something crazy going to happen. I already saw with the NFP. We even with NFP started having price move before news even came out. So, holy. So we got that 4 hour accumulation right over here. Let's go on the 1 hour. So very simple chat, right? I think we're all on the same page what's going on here. Like without getting too into detail about a lot of things, I think we're all on the same page. Very simple. Very, very simple analysis, right? Break above, retested. So like classic break and retest scenario. Little accumulation sideways. So let's go on the 30. 30, nothing too much. But I will be expecting... oh wow, even the 5. Yeah, this is a really big range. This is a really big range. Let's do it like this. That's a really freaking big range. So on the intraday, we're kind of like trending a bit more. Because the 4 hour is definitely approaching the... It's a higher time frame. Definitely a higher time frame. So on the intraday, we are kind of trending towards the upside. Correct? But overall, we're still stuck within this general region right here with news coming out soon. So you can imagine once price starts to move, it's really going to move with a lot of volume because of the amount of orders which are now sitting within this 768 pip range. The amount of orders sitting here, we're going to be expecting some kind of like a movement. Correct? So it's going to be big. It's going to be big. It's most likely going to be big. Because we also got to have to get through that daily resistance point right over here too. So it's like kind of creeping up towards it, right? You see, like the market is, as I think about like an animal, it's kind of thinking, you know, it's kind of like setting itself up for the attack right now. You can see people have been pricing in their positions early on, getting in through the Asia, even the buys that we took. Man, the buys, imagine just holding the buys today. Imagine just holding the buys today. Where's my long position tool? Taking forever. Alright, it's gotta load. Oh, okay, finally. Imagine just holding the buy today. Even the shotgun play. Up over here. Either or. Either or. Price skyrocketed, like, you know, 300, 3,000, 3, what is this? 320 pips. 320 pips. Right? 320 pips. Now it's just accumulating over here. Because these positions, they've been keying in since Asia. Some longs over here. I'm not sure if it's going to come to rebalance. That's why I'm expecting maybe the CPI, it might go up, but we might have like a bottom wick first somewhere. And then price is going to move up like that. Try and like shake out some of the earlier positions. But we shall see. We shall see. Right now, we also let's mark out our 4,400 level that now we're finally above. All right, let's mark support. And we got this next support area down here. But most likely if it comes down, it's going to be approaching like 4,400. I reckon instead, right? But definitely that next range is going to be towards that support. Like 63 pip range to the downside. Just got a candlestick also close below right there. No bottom wick. Fortunately, which means there's no range for this candle to move down to break to confirm momentum. Unless this is a accumulation breakout up above here, we got to investigate. But the next wick to break would be this wick down over here. That would be the next wick to break to confirm some kind of a momentum. Let's go on the 1 minute time frame. It's a bit of like an accumulation break. Let's see what the delta is saying. Delta is heavily bearish at the moment. We're seeing a lot of ask here of 4.7 million at this current node for price to potentially come down. Previous candle as well, bearish. So who knows, we might have some sort of retracement, some kind of pushes or corrections before CPI. Right? That could be a potential too. But I would say the volume overall is pretty good. I'm liking volume. We could have a little bit more participants involved. You see right here, it's kind of quiet. Like there's not a lot of activity at the moment. So we're gonna wait for the market to wake up a bit. Yeah, we're gonna wait for it to make, because like when there's no activity, you know, there's not a lot of what do you call, like, oh, TradingView is still lagging here. Trying to add something on the chart, but it's not working. Oh wow, man, it's bad today. Is it called core CPI? Are y'all straight? Oh, wait, I think my keyboard died. Oh, that's why. All right, let me plug that in. Warning. Keyboard dying. This keyboard's a real trooper though. I don't even know how it still works. It exploded on me once. Literally. It exploded and then something kind of like smell burned. But it still works perfectly fine. Couldn't handle the heat. It's like, hey, hold up now. Moving too quick. All right, so yeah, this is why that we want to be cautious when we're not getting a lot of market participants, because you see, like, we don't want to get in like situations like this where price is not gonna like pick a direction and it's just gonna hover. Yeah, but you see this candle's about to close right here in about 1 minute 30 seconds. It's still gonna be looking at this range to fill. That's a higher low. That's a higher low over here. So, you know, like as long as we're still this would be like a key low. That would be a key low to show you a trend shift. Hey, welcome to Tetra Tribe. Hey Rod, welcome. 1 year, let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, so that's what I'm saying. This would be the key. This would be the key higher low. Right over here. The key higher low that could initiate some form of a trend shift if we can start breaking towards it. But for right now, we're definitely more leaning towards the upside. But it doesn't mean you can't catch sells. You can definitely catch sells with some kind of confirmation. Maybe some liquidity grab, some little bit of confluence. We might see if I'm going to look for like a sell, or maybe like I'll prefer a buy though. That will hold like a highest probability of even a running trade. That will definitely hold the highest probability of a running trade. So I reckon we might actually just hold this range, so we can just refine this a bit more. That's what I reckon, that we potentially hold this. Gonna be like our point A. So now we're getting warmed up. We'll see what kind of a day it is today. We'll see if there's any shocks in the water, if market price action is pretty straightforward. Like yesterday was pretty straightforward. So far it can be a bit tricky, but you know, we have a range here. It's like a 80 pip range that we might just end up holding for a little, and then maybe even get like a additional confirmation within here to take like an earlier buy. So that's definitely something I could be looking out for. Earlier entry confirmations, and if not, then maybe somewhere above here. Even maybe somewhere below here. Now that wick by 44.06. Because as we're approaching our New York session, I'm anticipating some kind of volume, some kind of movement. Don't want to rush anything. I'll just probably give my trade like maybe 1 or 2 tries instead of trying to fight the market. But we definitely do have time, and yeah, time's a bit on our side right now. We got 8 SMA 50 about to have a crossover right here. Little volume indication if price starts to move down bearish. And CPI on summer volume days is day to do something else. Oh yes, today is going to be real good. Real good. Today's gonna be real good. I love the retail trading community when it comes to NFP days, core CPI days. So some people out there, they're crazy. Real crazy. Degens. Yeah, that's the word. Very degen industry that we're in here. A lot of degens. I love degens. Most of my friends are degens. Actually, all my friends are degens. So I think it's pretty good. Pretty good. Because you got to take a risk. You know, in life, you got to be a bit of a degen. You got to take risk. It's all the crazy people who make the changes, you know? All those crazy people who make the biggest changes. Really big changes. Wow, look at this. Candlesticks. No bottom wick right here. And the next candle open, you see there was no range for it to move down. And it closed bullish again. Barely a top wick on that one too. So that's why we have to be a bit careful when it comes to these types of plays. These types of ways that candles can close when volume is slowing down. Gotta be very cautious. Very cautious. Wait for the volume. You will see it. The market will literally tell you. Right now, it's being a bit quiet. So if we start to see it move quickly, we're gonna get that idea. Just like yesterday, right? Just like yesterday. Wait for the market to show you direction. Because right now, you know what it's doing? We have a support area right over here. Created a new lower low within this minor trend. But this lower low here is going to be a potential area where price can actually reverse from with loads of volume, because that would be a reversal play. If you notice, it broke below that support area, and then now it's sort of like flirting within this zone. So if we start breaking back above, correct, that will be the top of the range right here at the current moment. But if we definitely start breaking above here, then we may see that buyers start to take back a bit of control and price to continue creating new higher lows as it's been previously doing. But if it re-breaks its lows right here, this can create lower lows in terms of this very minor trend at the moment. Correct? It will be doing that to maybe come and retest 4,400. That would be a psychological mark. But you see again, even if you use that as a confluence, it'll be breaking above like some kind of a trend line there. You're like, some people are gonna have like a trend line set up, maybe something like this. And there's a little bit of confluence because I also got that little break and retest situation from this previous support become resistance and then become support again to move up. So yeah, definitely gonna have some sort of nice confluence there, which we can give us some reaction. But you see again, if we don't break above it, then we're still kind of respecting as a break and retest confluence for price to move down. Correct? Off of that level. So that's why we're gonna anticipate some direction, some sort of a direction with volume, and then we're gonna have like a good idea of what could be possibly going on there. But for now, we must just respect this range and give it space, give it some breathing room to accumulate orders. And then direction. Nice little SMAs that would have in confluence in either case. It's like we got the 1 hour, the 30 holding for bullish, space to 15, and the 5-minute holding for bullish, as well as the 1 minute. So for me, it seems more like it wants to rip up. And you might start to see some bigger, larger moves coming in shortly before we get the New York session open. You might see some people rushing into buys or FOMOing rather into buys. So watch out for this. Watch out for people FOMO into buys. People may FOMO into buys within this area over here. So that might cause price to actually start moving quite quickly. All right. Question is, can we get a good setup? Because we're gonna have like some potential buys actually happen somewhere around there. You see that? Volume is coming in. They're being supported by the dynamic supports, which are the SMAs at this point. Let's see how Delta's looking. Still quite bearish, but the hourly candlestick is also about to flip. So it's gonna have like an hourly flip too. And this would be a trap, right? So we have a potential sellers here trapped on this node by 44.72. Then we're gonna have some sellers trapped here. So you see, that's the current point of control. You see, there you go. You saw how it just flipped? There you go. 2.6 million. We got the sellers trapped in there. I took a buy. See if I can survive. Oh, no, I got pulled. And that was so beautiful. And you see, we also got the activity coming in. I still think it's trying to break above here. It may have just been the 5-minute closure. I think it's because of the 5-minute closure, potentially. But you saw how I jumped there from negative, was it like negative 300k? Negative 300k, and it popped all the way up to 2.6 million. Once we opened up on this next node here by 44.74. There's a trap right there. I'm actually surprised that just didn't fly. It's gonna be like a shotgun play because candlestick has now also closed above that region right there. Very surprised that did not completely just squeeze them out. Let's see with that daily resistance. Because if it wants to range for CPI, this could be like the good range. It's like 168 pip range for CPI. So since we've come down here, at the moment we've broken back above this zone. So we kind of have like a little bit more buyers in control as long as we're above that area there. My CPI prediction is bullish. Because gold is moving up, it's already up 1%, 1.06% on the daily change. That's why I think you might see some FOMO in buys. You see with this hourly, we're in the second half of this hourly candlestick over here. That was a quick leap. Actually, I haven't seen a leap. I rarely would see a leap like that from like negative 300 all the way up to 2 million and then hold steady. Because yeah, usually it would just it would come back down, but that's wild. That's why I'm saying like today when we approach core CPI, we're gonna see a lot more fireworks. A lot more fireworks. It's calmed down again. Look at this. Where are they at? If you notice the way it was rushing before, super surprised it did not keep pumping. That's why I talked about these weird artificial buy limits that happen in the market. Now we got a 5-minute candle back closing below support here. It's closing below resistance, sorry. We just rejected resistance. Coming back into the range. So it's still within this accumulation. We got some equal highs. Yeah, exactly. Watch people FOMO into buys. And that's gonna be me. But you see, the thing is, if we spring up from this area, you're gonna look back at it in hindsight. And you'll say that this was the zone where price distributed from. Then it's just gonna be moving up like this. So what are you gonna do? At that point, you're either gonna have to wait for it to reset up again. Which should count on the 1 minute as it's moving up. But you will see in hindsight that this was the point A. This was the area that it moved away from, to give that sort of like a distribution effect. So you just have to look at it and say, does that make sense? You know, according to the way I trade, does it make sense for me to get involved? You know, is it worth for me to get involved now, or should I just wait? Should I just wait for price to first break and then look for a continuation? That's what you always gotta ask yourself. But you see, definitely now we've created that point A. Delta is at 2 mil, so I'm definitely still more bullish. It's a bit neutral. You can see even by these two nodes here, we got one bullish, one bearish node. Hourly's a doji. So this would be the basically hourly candle volume like that. Would be like a doji. Correct? So we see this hourly here can move. Go on the hourly time frame. Previous hourly created like some small resistance here. But it could be like a major break and a retest, because, you know, we also got this zone over here, which would be holding. Hourly would be re-breaking its highs. And we had also rejected this area here. So that's why we're seeing a bit of accumulation right below this zone on the hourly time frame, as it's gathering up orders to potentially move up towards daily resistance. All right, but so far, at least with the buyers, they're kind of holding this level, or they're attempting to hold that level. That could also be a confluence for sellers if they can break below it and then start breaking below that wick. If we break below that wick, then you see volume start to come in again. So it's in a very, very, very important area, this is. I didn't even want to take a trade just yet, but that reaction, it was such a strong reaction. You know, it was such a strong reaction. I was anticipating that maybe we're going to start moving now a bit. Such a strong reaction. So watch out for those pops. We've been getting a lot of pops of late on gold to the upside. We've been getting like a lot of pops. Like, you know, candle will just do something like that. Just like you just saw happen right now. So that's why I'm still under the impression that we're getting a lot of like aggressive buyers in the market. You can see overall CVD here, bullish on the daily, still overall quite aggressive. Not seeing a lot of seller aggression today, except from much earlier on. But for the most part, it's just been kind of buying. Want to see if we can get that momentum in. You see, we had a burst of orders coming in as we started breaking above here. But that quickly calmed down, which is quite interesting to see how that happened. I think people maybe just being a bit cautious, you know. Being a little bit cautious here. CPI looks bearish too. Yeah, I mean, like the news says that it should be coming out as a strong dollar. So, you know, in essence, it should move down. But like we've been seeing it happen since NFP. Same thing with NFP. We got revision. So that's why I say when it comes to news is just gambling, because like you're gonna get you can just get a revision. But right now it is saying that the dollar should be strong. But at the same time, why is gold moving up? If the dollar for CPI should be strong, is that a pricing in, or is that a pricing in to sell, or is that a pricing in to buy? So that's why, you know, kind of like trade around the news if you can. See if we get like some kind of a commitment. Trading back above 44.11 there. Be surprised if that whole hourly closed like a doji. It's already giving us a bit of wickage. If you notice here, we're starting to get a little wickage. Not really a good sign. So that's why we need to see a little bit more commitment from this hourly would be nice, because we're starting to get lots of wicks building up here. And usually that means that price might just decide to hold. It may just decide to hold until the news breaks. But that little accumulation is undeniable here. But it's kind of whiplashing at the same time. If you notice, like price created a low here, and then it pushed up, and then it created a high here, and then it pulled down. So it's sort of like just basically holding this area for a bit. So I think, you know, the next time it tries to re-break the highs or lows, maybe you should have a bit more conviction. But it's definitely kind of tightening up over here. So I assume that this is going to be the range. That's going to be the true range, because I don't think price going to hold this area for, it's like only about, this zone is like only about 100 pips. I don't see it holding a 100 pip range up until like 830, but I do see it holding at least like a 170 pip range from this high. This is the most recent higher high that was formed in this minor LTF lower time frame trend up. And we're actually, you know, if you look at the hourly right now, the hourly is exactly at 1% on the daily change. So yeah, there's a very, very interesting, very delicate area. Man, that play would have been awesome though. With that potential point of control here, that potential squeeze, Really nice. Because I've seen these moves where you're gonna have a what you call like a fake out for, let's say, like the bears, and then what you see follow this is bullish nodes 1 2 3 4 5 6, and price just skyrockets up, and then you're gonna see like there was a trap down over there. So I'm very surprised that did not happen. Very surprised. I was ticking a lot of boxes. You see data here is coming in a little slow at the moment though. Very surprised. Got about 15 minutes until the new hourly opens. Yeah, it's playing this range. Could you imagine the whole hourly candle here? Look at it. Look how small that volume is. For the whole hour, we only got 14 minutes left. I want to see how we approach that level. What a beautiful accumulation though. Like if we actually do get that distribution, that confirmation. Yeah, like set up nicely. Much better trade after the news. Yeah, I agree. Lone trader. You know, it's gonna be very, very delicate, right? A very, very delicate situation. Because that window of opportunity, it's gonna get a bit crazy. Because right now, the market may be calm enough to capture something. But at the same time, it's a little hesitant, right? But you see, the longer you wait, let's say now it's going to be 8:15. The closer you get to that core CPI, the more that window it's going to close. The window is already pretty small right now. So you're going to have to wait for news then to first break and give it some time to calm down, ideally. You know? Or if you get stuck in now and have that little bit more of a calmer price action play out, would be the best case scenario. But over leveraging right now is also an issue, because you don't want to have too many trades on before real direction kicks in, because then you're gonna be sort of like taking more trades than you wanted to. So that's why I'm still monitoring how we're gonna approach 44.16 and decide if it's worth taking it now or like waiting till the news comes out, we get the fluctuations, the volume, and then do it. Now I see it's coming down now. Now it's moving slow, so this is not looking so appetizing. So it's not looking so appetizing. So We're gonna keep an eye out for 44.16. Just in case. Just in case. We see volume start to kick up. Instead of coin for gamble CPI. Yeah, there's definitely on the Discord here an area that you can do this. We call it the gulag flip. So you come here, you type in flip, start your coin flip, and then you choose your choice, heads or tails. Fun fact, usually landing on heads. Flip the coin. A higher probability to land on heads. Usually in real life I also choose heads, but in this scenario we got tails, so you know it means that the price should sell. Heads is buy, tails is sell. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's what we call a coin flip. That is what we call a coin flip. Why is heads a higher probability? I'm not sure. Maybe because the way the coin is weighed, but it's for some reason always having a higher probability for me in real life. In real life. Wow, it's really slowing down, chat. I think it may hesitate a bit up until core CPI if we haven't got like a push yet. And we got 9 more minutes till the new hourly open. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything too interesting. Hey Kevin, welcome to TFX. Let's go. See if I can wake up. If you notice, the candles here are closing like a bit of a doji. Even on the 5-minute time frame, usually showing like price slowing down. But they see that's the thing. Like this is such an important zone right here because, you know, how many distributions do you think we're gonna have until core CPI? Maybe we're gonna have at most 2. Like at most 2. We're gonna have one. Okay, so look at this. We're having a range within a range, but no directional confirmation yet. So it would be better to even come in later, if anything, because it could actually start breaking out from here. It could start breaking out from here and moving up. Correct? It's like a minor accumulation. But yeah, on average, I think maybe we're gonna have like maybe 2 of areas like this. But realistically, I think like 1. You know, 1. I think we might just have 1. So you see, the thing is, this plays out here. It's going to distribute, but then after that, there wouldn't be anything else up until core CPI or after core CPI. So that's why it makes it like very important zone. Unfortunately, like this hourly candle here just did not want to move. It's hesitating as well. It's really hesitating here. Because, you know, like not everyone going to have tighter stops. Some people going to have bigger stops. And they may not be willing to get in here for for the reason that we're going to have a lot of volatility coming in soon. So just about playing the devil's advocate, because I think also a lot of these moves we see on the lower time frame, they're being helped by the higher time frame traders who are going to have like, you know, bigger lots as well. Not bigger lots, but like a lot more volume can come in and get a lot more people involved. You know, but for like LTF traders, tighter stops, you know, it's good. We could definitely capture like 16, 20, 30 pips even within this range. But I think when we think about like objectively, people are gonna have like, we want to have these setups which give like room, so we have more orders involved. Because, you know, when you think about trading, you got to think not just the candles, but think about people, like the human psychology aspect of the process. So that's what makes this area like very delicate. I don't know if we're gonna have enough steam for people to be risk on. I see a small little build up here. So be cautious. Got about 5 more minutes for the hourly open. I think this is going to be better to wait for, potentially to wait for direction from the news. Might need to see this break out first. Might need to see this move and give me that sort of a confirmation that people are back involved. Because right now we're just a bit stagnant. But if we see at least a little bit of movement, at this point we'll be better. We got like 4 more minutes till the new hourly open. How long am I staying on for? Up until core CPI, and you know, up until I can give my trade a second chance at a buy. I already took some beautiful buys this morning down over here, so I'm just trying to maximize gains. I'm trying to maximize gains, you know, like maybe risk 1%. Maybe risk another percent over here. Worst case scenario, still end the day with like 2%. We're gonna see how it goes though. But I'm hoping to end the day with like maybe, you know, like 9%. Get like a pretty decent push. Right now I'm up about like, you know, 3 point something percent. 3.2%. So if I can get like a nice setup, I think we could have a scenario where price is gonna give us some pretty good pips. How big is my account? I keep it at 50k. I always trade my account like it's 50k. Always 50k. So whenever you got like a milestone, you can withdraw back to the base. Yeah, this is definitely halting. The whole freaking hourly candlestick just stopped. Very, very delicate situation. Very delicate. You see that hourly resistance right here? Then you got that daily resistance up above. That's our overall 4-hour consolidation into the daily resistance. This whole range. About like 740 pip range. Right below daily resistance. So what do you think that the market is thinking here? Maybe trying to break above, disrespect daily. Like this. So that's what I'm thinking that the plan's gonna be. But you know, in the case of waiting for news, I'm probably gonna come in like a lot later though. I'm probably gonna be coming in towards the tail end, like after it's already had a move. Because I don't want to trade like when the move begins. We'll see what happens. I'm expecting some kind of like a shock in the water. I'm expecting some serious whips.
Show me who you are. She won't be playing C, she the cream of the crop. A nigga like me might sing you about pound vibrating, keep the evil apart. Chief of the tribe is belief in my eye. When a doubt come in, then I bleed from the heart. Leave from the tree in my priest, so I calm down. Yeah, I be trying to keep it calm now, but there's snakes on the prowl in my lawn now. I keep a stick move slick with a palm out. She want the glitz and the glam, she deserve it. Every time you bring that ass back around, I make the sass sit down somewhere. I'm keeping it. Yeah.
You see where it's kind of conjured up over here between the higher time frame, the 1 hour resistance, and this minor 30-minute resistance area here. So that's why I think like right now it's such a sensitive area that it doesn't want to have any movements. Because see, even if it like moves down, I think that may be a short-term move. So it'll just be like more of a scalp. And then back into the range. Like basically even what happened over here. Just the same way as it happened here. You said like a short-term push up and then back into the range. You're excited? If you're excited, it means you're gambling. Remember that. So yeah, I think pretty exciting over here when you're gonna be gambling. Delta's flipped down. We just got new hourly open right here. So look at how the previous hourly just closed. Straight doji candle. Straight doji. Imagine for a whole hour. Price, you know, just for visual purposes, price just did this for a whole hour. So being very objective, what do you think this does to traders for a whole hour? What do you think it does to traders? Oh, I want to take a sell. Oh, I want to take a buy. Oh, sell, buy, sell, buy. You see me? I took a buy over here. Look what happened to me. Look what happened to me. I took 1% loss. So then I decided, now let me wait because I give it a shot. Like everybody here could have given a shot. Now the question is, do you keep giving it shots for the whole hour? Wherever your confirmations may be coming in. So you give it a shot and say, okay, you know, maybe the low volume here now. Low volume here now. The best thing to do is to wait for price to first move and then get involved like typical. Like that would be the typical best way to trade. Wait for price to move, confirm volume, and then get involved. Clearing SLs, exactly. It is just clearing SLs for a bit. That's why I even think like any moves even below here, if it plays out, you can feel good it played out, but not a good habit. Not a good habit. But we're about to see some moves. You know, with the NFP, we had price move before the news, like a minute before the news dropped. We might see something similar here. A little bit of volume kicking in. Little direction coming in as well, if you notice. Down negative 600K. You see that? But you know, the thing is, that happened with the buys too. It happened with the buys too, but people got spooked. So let's see if these people here are going to stick to their guns. If they want to move price from here, because that will be a potential distribution down to like 4,400. Let's see if they stick to their guns. Down negative 1 mil, almost. Just hit 1 mil. Let's see if they stick to their guns. Remember, now we have 25 minutes until CPI. It's the same reason that these buys there didn't play out. Because of news, red folder. And mind you, the seller aggression was at 2 million. So we're gonna sit on our hands here a bit. But you know, the idea here is like when you're gonna paper trade like this, you're gonna know why price moved, right? So even if it does end up moving and you see it distribute with volume, you're at least gonna know why and where that it's coming from. Correct? And that always gonna build some sort of like psychological relationship with the strategy, which is also important. It's not important to take all moves, but it's important to watch most moves. A little hesitation. Yeah, a little hesitation. You can see right when it came to that wick, correct? Like, look. Right at that wick. 44.06. I tell you, it's gonna be a bit of if it plays out, you're gonna be like happy that it played out type of a trade, you know. I'll be right back, chat. Oh, it's still hesitating. Not sticking to the guns, I see. See, it's a human psychology trading. Very risky. Very risky, that approach. Got about 40 seconds here for 5-minute candle to close. Very risky. These are people trying to sneak in trades before the news. We got 20 more minutes. Candle is about to close now. 20 more minutes. Candle is gonna close. I mean, news is gonna come. 20 seconds. Candle is gonna close. So now we're gonna watch, because remember, like, this has already happened here. Price has tried to break below, but this candle, the problem with this candle, it had a lower probability because there was no bottom wick on that candle, that this candle could move down. But you see, at least that one's got a bottom wick, so it slightly puts the odds in the favor of breaking to confirm momentum. I said, like, no bottom wick here. Also closed out a top wick. It's re-attempting the lows again on that closure. See if it pulls up like it did previously. Are you gonna gamble with 0.1 like NFP? No, I don't think so. You know what I realized? I realized even that was making me feel not good. Doesn't make me feel good. You know, it's the same way like when you are, let's say, on a good diet, and then one day you kind of want to cheat, or maybe you're not even on that diet, but you're trying to be at least somewhat healthy, but then you end up ordering a McDonald's or something of the sort. It feels good at the moment when you eat it, but how do you feel afterwards? You know, it's all that after feeling where you're just kind of like disappointed that you did that bad habit. You know, it's not a good feeling. So for me to even risk like a 10-cent lot, I don't know, man. I think like I'm gonna have that disgust feeling a bit, because I know that's just kind of like a gamble. And I think when you want to become like a full-time trader, it's important to treat like a business, right? Like you wouldn't gamble with a business like that, would you? You take more of a calculated risk. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand what's going on here. This is the industry and this is what people like to see. I fully understand. But you know, like the people gonna do this for a living, they're not gonna fuck around like that, you know? Unless, you know, they just don't care. But I think discipline has always been important. But yeah, I mean, I already do some pretty good P&L over here without the news. Some people, they're gonna do it just for P&L as well. They try to flip their small accounts. But we'd rather wait for it to break and then give us direction, and then maybe take it then. Would be a safer play. Yeah, I'm not seeing much commitment here at the moment though. Wow, man, like still hesitating at the lows. Still hesitating. Let's read some news. Gold climbs 1% near 2-month peak in run-up to US CPI report. Gold prices rose more than 1% Wednesday, supported by easing expectations of the Federal Reserve rate hike next month, as market participants await pivotal US inflation data that is likely to shed light on central banks' future policy path. Bullion climbed to its highest since June 5th. Following a weaker US payrolls, a focus on US inflation. A lower print would see the market pricing out further US rate cuts. I mean, now they've been postponed to like if we go on the CME group, we're having it being postponed probability wise, I think till the 14th, 16th September, which a hike is below no change at 53%. So most likely nothing in September. Most likely we're going to have numbers come lower than expected, which means that gold should go up. Right? You see in October we got like even 59.3%. So not much confidence up until December. We're going to have at least 70%, 75 plus percent. So when we get the core CPI data here, these numbers should also change. Right? But most likely we're going to see a no change in September and October. So this is why people are looking at gold longs. Although the data is telling us that it should actually come out as a strong forecast for the dollar. But people are playing off the macro perspectives. That's why I think we may have some sort of foul play when the news drops. You might have some like a big wick. They have that big wick. Yeah, actually, it did end up holding the like now 100 pip range here. Let me run a poll. Let's see, buys, sells.
He asked what could he do for me. I told him that my love is free. But can you match me? I can do it all for myself. Want you but really don't need help. So can you match me? I like luxury. I like fancy things. Shine on poverty. Live like royalty.
Let's hold. Let's hold. Let's hold. You know, it's so interesting when you think about how time operates on the market, because we're in the past, but 10 minutes from now, we're gonna have a candlestick. Just if you think about it deeply, 10 minutes from now into the future, either one of these directions, we're gonna have a huge candlestick, right? Maybe like big wicks, big push. But it's the calm before the storm. And then that's gonna pop off. Once that pops off, everyone's at the trading desk. Everyone's looking to take positions. And that's when probability is gonna increase towards getting some kind of a good trade in, you know? That, look at the amount of orders already starting to get keyed in right now. Some people already coming in like soon. Already getting stuck in within the range here. It is wild. Some of you are already in a trade here in the chat. Beautiful. So beautiful, this thing right here. But it seems like we have an equal measure of buying and selling though at the moment. So beautiful. You can feel the FOMO building up. Because you know why it's a very tricky one? If you see what happened with the NFP moved before the news came out, so that could make it a bit more difficult if it does the same thing here today. It moved like 10 seconds before the news, or somewhere around there, like maybe 20 seconds before the news dropped. It sold, liquidity grab, then skyrocketed. You see, like something like this, I'll be looking to get into a trade right about now. I'll be looking for my confirmations now because I see that we should be having some kind of movement soon. But the way that this is playing out here because of the news is going to give us a different outcome. So that's why it's better to wait. Yeah, at that point, I'll be looking maybe at the break, potential break of the lows. Beautiful accumulation here on the 1 minute. There's a small little range here. You see how it's holding? Look at this. Minor little liquidity grab below here. How much did I even push? Let's see, from here to here, only about like 11 pips. But yeah, just wait and watch. Just wait and watch. If you want to play it safe and make good money, put your buy order at previous day low and wait it out. What? Buy order at previous day low. You think the daily is gonna flip here? Daily flip. Previous day low, that's by 43.55. If it comes to daily low, that means news broke out for a positive dollar though. Would you still take it then? You know, to get to the daily low, we'd need to drop at least all the way from where we are. 460 pips. That'll mop up the whole of Asia. Let me just show you guys like how big that news trading is. In general, this is a whole event over here for trading the NFP. Look at this. Let me just pause music for a second so you can hear it. That's a whole club trading the NFP. Look at this. Look at the screen. They have like a massive screen over here. Look at the size of that candle. That's insane. Like everybody now sees the power in trading. Look at this. Look at how popular that this has become. Look at this guy, all blues. So trust me, that club today, they're gonna have a lot of business. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's become a sport. It's literally trading has become a sport. Everyone's just gonna come up to the bar. Ever got the meta traders? Bulls versus Bears. We got 3. How many more minutes we got here? 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes. So many gamblers? Yes. Let me make sure I don't have any stop orders. Alright, no stop orders. Are you going for buy or sell? I'm assuming it's gonna buy, and I'm gonna wait for them to buy first, then get the direction. Or at least wait for the first 5-minute candle there to close. That might be that liquidity graph for a buy, but we'll see. You see, I took out the lows right here. Now it's like popping back above. It just mopped up this clean range on the left hand side. You see, volume is starting to kick in. Market participants get more involved. So we're about to have a move. We're about to have a move now. So grab your popcorns and get ready. Let's see what the poll is saying. We have 80% of people in the poll are saying gold longs. 80% of you guys in these bubbles here are looking to long gold. And you see gold is moving up. Bro, please up monetization. Too much ads. I don't even have it on. I don't even have it on. But I noticed YouTube of late has become a bit aggressive on the ads though. Oh, here comes CPI. People are already in buys, chat. Let's see this. Let's see how is it gonna play out today. Some people are already in beautiful buys. That's 90 pips. Breaking out of the range over here. Holy. Wait for it. And here it comes. 10, 9. Oh, we're already moving up. Holy. It just moved straight up. Oh, here come the buys. Whoa, okay. Okay. Oh, man, foul play. I got a feeling it was gonna be some foul play unless you got in early. Holy. Even that pullback here. How many pullback was that? This candle is roughly 495 pips. A little foul play off the NFP. So I mean off the core CPI. I think what happened here, the numbers must have come out as expected. They must have gotten good numbers if price had gone down. Right? But you know, everybody, you know the crazy thing is, everybody was talking about core CPI buys. And price moved the opposite direction. Price moved the opposite direction. It's a short. It's a short. Let me see what the numbers came out here. Let me see what the numbers... Oh, numbers we came out at 0.2. So we just came out as forecast. We have come out as forecast. So let's go ahead and update this. So you see this? We have come out as forecast. The amount of people on social media who spoke about core CPI, everyone spoke about buys on gold. Literally. And now look at what happened over here. Holy. So even if they made money on NFP, guess what? They gave it back on core CPI plus some. Because that 1 minute candle did 458 pips in seconds. In a second. Not even seconds, in a second. In a millisecond. So whatever you made in NFP, you give it back plus more. That's why we don't trade the news. Very unpredictable. Very delicate. Now we wait. Now I'm going to wait for my TFX confirmation. I'm going to take a trade here. It's going to be a pretty good trade. And I'm going to call it a day. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a day. So now I'm going to wait. See how this candle here is going to close. And then see what price does next. Let me close this poll. Mr. Rashid, I'm happy I don't trade news. I wonder how that club is doing right now. Massive liquidity grab here. You know, the thing is, a buy would be in play in order if we actually had the numbers come out maybe negative for the dollar. Then we could have even looked at a potential buy there. And then that would have been the CPI liquidity grab below here. Because the thing is, I think if it re-breaks the highs, you might be able to get a few pips. But you see, because the numbers came out as forecast, it may be a bit wonky, so just gotta wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit, see if we can get the direction in. Because if it starts to move up a bit more, it's gonna be heading towards the daily resistance point. That means you see the 4 hour would have done like a minor liquidity grab below here, taking out the previous 4 hour support to try and break out of this range to head towards the daily high. Well, we first see how it breaks the high, because we're gonna make sure there's no shock in the water. That price doesn't do something like this where it breaks a high and then comes back in. Then that means we potentially just keep ranging for a bit longer. Now everybody, just 80% of the chat. But yeah, man. Yeah, you know when what I've noticed is the chat statistics is a representation of also the general statistic of the information that is out there. It usually lines up pretty well. But the chat has got a better hit rate than I do when it comes to these news events. That's for sure. When it comes to picking that direction. Because, you know, some people, man, they meditate these moves for days before they happen. They're meditating this move and what they're going to do, and they're researching about how they're going to trade it. Let's see how we took out. Okay, so that was that 4 hour support was the you know, the London lows. London lows were technically here by 43, 44, right below 4,400. So this more of like, it's like some pre-London lows that got taken out there, right to the T. So shy of the daily lows area here. By around 192 pips. But it's quite interesting that Y price is still trying to move up, although the data has come out here as bearish gold. It's still trying to move bullish. Volume's at 116 million. Highest we got in all day, of course. Okay, let's investigate the 1 minute time frame, because what's gonna happen is the continuation may set up here the structure on the 1 minute. It's pretty nice big candles here. But what we need is for price to play around here a little bit longer, like to come down, create a support, reject the highs, and then break the lows. And I think that'll be a beautiful sell down towards 43.93 area there. So I'm gonna really monitor this zone. It's around like let's just say 160 pips. How do I control myself and just go to other trade instead of revenge trade? You just have to train your subconscious that you can trust yourself. That's all that you got to do. So the more you remain disciplined, the more you're okay. You know what the actual trick is? Let me show what the actual trick. This is the trick that a lot of people ask how to be disciplined. Right? Be okay. Are you ready for this? This is going to change your whole game. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. So when you guys want to know about how to be disciplined in trading, I'm about to share with you the only thing which works. It's not about locking yourself out of the apps. It's about this simple thing that I'm about to teach you right now. Are we ready? Are we ready, chat? I want to hear ones in the chat. I want to get some ones in the chat. If you want to know, I want to see some ones in the chat. If you don't want to know, it's okay. It's okay. We continue to look at price. We look at price and then we just wait. We wait for the entry. But it's up to you guys. If no ones in the chat, no sauce. Simple. All right. Getting some ones. This is the number one thing that you have to understand. So if there's anything that's going to stick with you when you go to bed tonight of what you're going to learn today in trading, this is going to be it. And you don't want to forget this because you're going to need this tomorrow in your arsenal of tools that you deploy on the market to become consistent. Right? Let's see. Got in as it was going up and exited just before the fireworks. Oh, wow. Nice. Yeah, that was a beautiful textbook entry. Beautiful textbook entry. But amazing you caught that. All right. So now this is the rule, right? So the rule is be okay with missing trades. That's it. That's all that you have to be okay with is missing trades. And we showed you this already on, I think it was on a Monday. Was it a Monday? How we called out these buys, but you know, for example, price was moving. We missed all the moves here. Remember that day? There were like a couple of trades and then we still took our trade all the way up here. We still made some money and then price had reversed. But that was only possible because we were disciplined. And how were we disciplined? We were okay with missing moves. Whenever you're not okay with missing moves, you cannot be disciplined. It's that simple. You cannot be disciplined because what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out. And it's going to leave you that disgusting feeling that I said whenever you're trying to be on a diet and you end up eating bad food or like, then you feel bad afterwards. It's going to leave that feeling if you break your rules. And if you're not having that feeling, it means that you don't care much about the goal that you're trying to achieve. Because trust me, like somebody who's actively putting work into something is going to have a disgust feeling when they break their rules. You know, so that's going to be the number one indicator. All right, so price is moving up here. It looks like we're heading towards the daily resistance. We do have some space in between, of course, like 300 pips to get a potential setup. It's quite interesting to see it move up still. But yeah, we haven't gotten structure. No foundation yet. So we have to be okay with price even moving straight up. right now until we get that foundation. So it looks like we got this liquidity grab here. Let's label the chart. Liquidity. Liquidity grab. Daily change is still 1.40%. So it's very bullish at the moment. Even with the core CPI numbers coming out, the daily change is still saying that it's very strong bullish. And we just created a new, let me just see if that's a new, yeah, that was a new high that we just created here. That's a new higher high we just formed. So that daily candle, you can imagine, even after the news, it had a top wick like this, but it just came to break the high again. Right? So we're still seeing a little bit more buying power in the market. That could roll over at any point, but we have not yet gotten any confirmation of that happening. So we should be still sticking with some sort of bullish bias, at least for the next 15 minutes, whilst this hourly candle here is still open. Yeah, even though the setup is shown in front of you a lot, especially because it's shown in front of you a lot, you have to be even more picky. You gotta be very picky, you know. But it doesn't show you that much. Like, to be fair, if you're trading for like an hour, within each hourly candle, I would say a TFX confirmation, like a breakout play, could maybe do 2. If it's really moving market, 3. For my pre-London session, there was only 1. There was only 1 within this general region over here. There was 1 entry here, and then there was another setup right here. But that was a distribution. But that was the point A. So when we're talking about like point A's, it may be going to form like 1 or 2 on average. So, you know, if you're going to be on the chart, maybe on the chart for 3 hours, that means you're looking at 2 to 3, 4, let's say around like 4 to 5, maybe 4 to 6 in 3 hours. But in 3 hours, all you're looking to do is catch just 1 trade, just 1 good trade. So, you know, when you first take your trade, let's say 1 or 2 trades within that time span. Because the longer you're in the market, the more you give it an opportunity to take your money. Always remember that. The more you're in the market, the more you're giving it an opportunity to take your money. Not the more you're giving an opportunity to make more money, but you're giving more of an opportunity to lose money. It's the same way that a casino works, right? They don't want you to go home at a casino because they know the longer you're in the casino, guess what? You lose money. The house always wins. So you got to know how to limit trades. You got to really limit your trades. Because trust me, man, there's no 100% strategy. Every strategy overtraded throughout a day is going to lose. Just make it count, you know. So the idea was like, when I was growing my small account, the idea was not to take more trades. The idea was to take bigger risk. So instead of risking 1 or 2%, I would risk maybe like 5%. And stick to taking like one or 2 trades a day. All right, so I think we might be getting our point B, point A soon. Say point A loading. And let the market breathe. Be okay with missing moves. Let the market breathe. The more you let it breathe, the more structure that it can create, the better the outcome of your trade. So you see in this scenario, I want to see market breathe within this range a bit longer, like 220 pips. We got 220 pip range right here, 220, 230. It looks like it'll range for a while. Yeah, but you see, we got a nice activity at least. So what may seem like a range, this is another trick that the market loves to deploy. What might seem, especially you see with this amount of activity, what might seem like a slow range, because you see when you don't have order flow, you just see this, right? You just see that the candles are moving like this. But you can't really tell how active that people are, correct? Look at this. No order flow, you feel a bit naked now. So you just have to assume that volume is going to come back in once you get a setup. But once you get to see the order flow, you see that people are still actively involved. Although the market is not moving, it's not fluctuating as much, people are actively involved right here. So all that means is you got to wait for the setup to first form. And once you get your execution, then you're going to see the distribution. As long as people are involved. But what I would actually expect is for the next maybe 10 minutes, that price is going to hold this area. And then on the next hourly open, it's going to move. Let's see what this hourly did. All right, so this hourly had the liquidity grab right into the 50 SMA. Beautiful, like right to the T as well. Towards like 43.82. And now it's attempting to break above this hourly resistance. But it's still kind of like indecision. It's moving like an indecision candle. So it could be just waiting on volume to carry through the next hourly open if it wants to keep moving up or retrace down. Let's see how the DXY is doing. DXY should... Oh, wow, yeah, DXY went up. Wow, interesting. DXY went up. Then it came down. Holy. Looks like a liquidity grab here on the 15 minute. This top wick. So if DXY is moving down, that's confluence for gold to move up. Wow, very messy core CPI this was. So messy. Crack below 99,700. Wow, so messy. Okay. Daily is bearish on DXY as well. Still being held down. Let's see with our CME if they got some changes over here in September. So right now we can see September was at 53.9%. Let's see if that updated already. Now we have 55.9%. So you see, because the numbers came out here pretty much without a change. Right? So if you go back on the... Let me see if I still have it. But it came at 2%. So we had no change. And that's also reflecting here still that we're not expecting any hikes in September. So nothing has really changed. So that's why the market, I guess, is the way it is right now. But yeah, with the DXY moving down and gold's trying to keep pushing up, we may still be in for some buys. Although I do want to take a sell. Like, I like the idea of filling this area here for support. It's like about 220 pips. Get like a wick fill on that liquidity grab. But we'll see. You know, the market at the end of the day it's got to decide. Like, we're just gonna be the small fish swimming right next to the big whale. I'm just a small fish. So if the whale goes this way, I'm gonna go that way. If it goes this way, I'm gonna go that way. Forgot to thank you for all the info you're giving us. Thank you, Grammatic. Appreciate you, sir. Gotta do some crunches after this session over here. We gotta go do some crunches. So you see this? Look at this. Let me show you this. We're almost hitting our targets. Almost hitting our targets. So 66.35. Remember, you guys have been with me on this journey since I weighed 85 kg. Right now, I'm down. I'm almost hitting my 65 kg target over there. Right? Almost at 65. So I think it's pretty good. We're going to see what happens here at 65. The goal is to get abs. I'm going to get abs. And then I'm going to build back up. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Maybe to like 70 kg. And then kind of like hold it there. That's the goal. And you know, the whole idea behind that was just to show you all that anything is possible with discipline. That was it. That's all that I wanted to prove you. That if you get organized, you set yourself a strategy. You see, like I had no idea anything about this whole dieting and working out thing. But I set myself a strategy. You see this? Look at my playbook over here. A strategy, and all that I did was stick with it. That's all. That's all that the universe is gonna require from you for anything you want to achieve. Is to stick with it. So that was the whole idea. That was the whole idea. That was the whole idea. So you see, in the physical realm, it's possible. If you conquer mental. Mental is what trading is mainly. So if you conquer trading, you've conquered the mental realm. So if you conquer the mental realm, anything is possible. David Goggins will tell you himself. It all happens up here. You push your body to its limit, the mind can keep pushing further than you think. David Goggins has shown us all that we're not living up to our utmost potential. He showed you that the mental is everything. So now we've conquered physical realm and we've conquered mental realm. What else is there to conquer? Nothing, because it all starts up here. The mind will follow. The mind leads and the body will follow, and everything else. So just like in trading, you're going to visualize exactly what you want to see and then wait for it. Wait for it to follow through. So you see this range? I'm visualizing that price is going to range here, create a resistance. I'm visualizing price is going to create a resistance, come down, and from that point on, we're either going to move up or we're going to move down from this point A. You have 57 kg. Holy. But you must be young then, I think. Yeah, a lot of activity still. Let me go on the 5-minute time frame. So we're about to have a 5-minute candlestick close bullish. Could be a shotgun play. All right, let's keep an eye out for... Let's keep an eye out for the potential pullbacks. that we're gonna get on the next hourly open. So I think ideally I would like to see the hourly open and give me like a decent sized pullback. And see a bit maybe it was absorption as that's happening, and then on the flip to look for potential buy as a shotgun play if we don't get the accumulation. So got to wait. But it seems like price still wants to push up on Goldie. What do I think about risking 1% per trade? I think it's awesome. It always depends on the size of your account, you know? You got a big enough account? Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. 1 or 2%. Alright, so see that pullback. Just gotta wait a bit. I would like to see a little bit more. I don't wanna rush into it yet. Oh, 1.1 already? $1.2. Kind of moving a bit aggressive. It broke pretty fast on the shotgun right here. It already did about almost 30 pips. It broke really fast on the shotgun, so I wanted to see it come down a little bit. Because I want to know now, this is going to be the smoking gun. You see absorption. We're getting absorption now. As I mentioned, as price is moving down, we're getting delta increase. Because now it's going to show us if it truly wants to move up or if it's going to move down with the forecast that we got for core CPI. Because now it's created its hourly highs. So if it wanted to move down, it can move down here. We'll go back on the 5-minute. That'll be a heavy. You see, now the 5-minute will create like a very heavy bottom wick. So if it reflipped and broke the highs, you'd be expecting a little bit more of a push. All right, so see, Delta's also starting to flip. See that 5-minute candle does it? It needs to be the 5-minute here. Yeah, that's the absorption that we're getting. Now we see Delta's flip back up. 400k, 300, 500. So we got absorption of sellers. 700, 800, 1 million. What's the app called? I need to bulk up. It's called Macro Factor. Really, really nice app. Candle's about to close here. Create another resistance. Interesting. Oh, okay, I see where it's coming up from. This is it here. You got a minor liquidity grab below that level. Wow, I'm surprised there's not much with all these orders flying in. There's still not much directional pushes. We haven't really got the bomber clock. Oh yeah, the bubbles are just orders coming into the market here. Holy. Russian. Entry could be coming in earlier though. Right here. When that minute, oh wow, we moved down from 1 million to 300-400. I think that Delta might be trying to flip, because then the sellers will be coming in once we break below here. That'll be a zone to keep an eye out for. If you're looking at sells, then selling pressure is going to come in here by 44.26. $180. I want to see maybe at least like 200, 300K on Delta. Like 300. Watch out, we're about to have a distribution here soon. But that delta is really hovering right below 300. Yeah, I'm not getting too much confidence yet on the sells. It's pretty close. I don't think we're gonna have enough time to create bias. Yeah, it broke literally right at the last minute there when it's adding on delta, but now delta has increased to like 570. Maybe look for a follow through here. Gonna look for a follow through since the delta increased now. All right, so I secured some partial over there on that move. Candles are pretty big. I'm going to let the rest run. And it stopped me out. And I'm going to remove my buy stop over there. So how much was that? Not much. 634. But I saw about 2 point something percent. I saw around like 4.6% on that. Well, W trade, if you manage to still secure something here, if you manage to catch something, pretty good, pretty well done. I only secured around on that move, 1.26% on that sell. Let me see what's going on here on the 5-minute. So we could have a shotgun below this support here by 44.21 for price to keep moving down. But we kind of rejected the support. You know, the idea was to come in like right here. Come in like a bit sooner. Then I would have peaked at around like 50 pips. Actually been a pretty good trade there. Also, this re-entry here is pretty nice, but candlestick fluctuated a little bit. Took out my position on my runner. And also, when I closed my partials, it didn't seem to close me at 2%. It seemed to close me somewhere below. Somewhere slightly below 2%. No time. Alright, let me see. We got like the support area here. But it's gonna need to extend quite a bit to break this low. It's gonna need to push from that wick there about like 40 more pips before we can get out of this zone. What you when I'm done? Kind of a slow core CPI, to be honest. Not getting much action yet. I thought we would have had the bomber clot by now. This could have been a nice bomber clot here. If it just continued to push bearish. What do we look down? Wait 1 second. Need to get a bit of caffeine in. I could call it here, but I thought gold was gonna do more than this. I see the break is actually coming in a little sooner there. There's a kind of hidden support area right here. Oh, but that's not looking good above that. Okay. Okay, so it may want to play in this range. Man, very freaking delicate. Very delicate. I want to catch a sell somewhere right here, because I can see it's in an overall point A. Now the question is whether to wait for the full break below this wick, which is going to come in like quite late, or get price, create me like some kind of a support here, and then look to get it a bit sooner. Because we've yet to have the real core CPI direction, you know, that's the thing. That real core CPI direction is yet to play out. So I'm still seeing a lot of market activity at the moment. A lot of orders still coming into play. Alright, let's see you get that support. It's minor retracement. Got about like 2 minutes 30 for 5-minute candle closure there too. It's gonna create maybe a potential shotgun as price comes to fill out these wicks. So now you see it's creating that little bit of a head and shoulders play in there as well. You got this zone, left shoulder ahead, that would be right shoulder. Volume will be coming in, breaking below these lows. I don't want to get it on a wick fill. I think I would rather wait for the 5 minute to close rather than like have a break of this low. But I know once we start moving inside this region, that this is going to be a very key area right over here. Very key area where price can move down. And then finally get away from this zone, right? So you can see for the most part, we've just been holding this zone. So this would be the potential distribution right here. NYSE opening, yes. Got some NYSE with NYSE open volume. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. See if this next 5 minute candle can at least create like some form of a top wick. You know, but if you already had a pretty good trade here today, call it a day. Call it a day. Feel free to call it a day. Let's see on the 15 minute. See, now this is where the initial push should be coming in from. I need the 5 minute close though. It's about to close. Oh, no bottom wick even. No bottom wick. It just tapped into the 8 SMA. So it need at least like some form of a reflip. And then get into a wick fill for price to come down here. So we just need to break beyond that 8 SMA. My broker has a mini bottom wick over there. All right, so I'm attempting this again. Secured a partial. See if we can get the runner in here. Because we've been hanging around that area for too long, price should be able to move now. So I can get a good runner here. Come on, Goldie, fill the wick. And stopped out a B. Well, my runner at least. Alright, it's not bad. $946 plus 634 minus 550. Alright, so made around like 2%. 2.06%. Yeah, interesting. Core CPI not seeming to move that much. So made around 2.06% here for the New York session. But I'm up for the day. 6.44. Not bad, not bad. But kind of disappointed, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised that core CPI is not moving gold. Like, even this move right here, this move should at least have come down to fill this whole area. You know, because we spent way too much time up over here with no direction. And now we're finally starting to break out of the range. And price is still trying to pull back up. Alright, chat, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Adios. Very good.